I'm inside and I saw Star Trek, the original series, Return to Tomorrow. It is directed by Rouse Sineski, written by John T. Duggan, and if you haven't seen this episode, I will spoil it for you. This episode starts with following the USS Enterprise as they embark onto some uncharted space 100 light years past where the last Earth vessel went. And so they're find some contacts with some guy. Oh, is your hailing frequencies open, Uhura? No, they're not, sir. What is this voice going through? Is there speakers? First of all, how does the system work? Is there like speakers on the side? Any Star Trek people who know more about Star Trek than I do, who have the top autism for Star Trek, please comment, how does the speaker system work? Do they just have intercoms in their chairs or something? What are they speaking into? Wouldn't you have to have like some sort of like microphone thing? I'm confused. But anyway, we got this guy named Sargon. He's like, hey, come to the surface. We need your help. Obviously, Kirk's like, is this a command? He's like, I don't know what to trust you or not. And I like Sargon's like, you know, you have a choice, but let's just say that if you don't come down here, then humanity is going to suffer the same exact fate. And I feel like Kirk took this as a threat, and he's like, okay, Spock, you stay up here. And, you know, Spock was about to stay up there until the lights, just all the power dimmed. And it's like, well, Spock, I guess you're coming with us. And they all go beating down. Immediately, my thought is like, this guy wants to present that he's all nice and such. And I actually believe him. I believe it because if he didn't, if his intentions were malicious, then he would have been like, you are coming down here right now. I'm gonna force you. I'm gonna pull your ship or whatever, you know. So I like how benevolent is probably a good word for that. Very benevolent these guys are. So they go to the surface, and it's like, oh geez, how could anyone go to the surface? I like the little bickering between McCoy and Kirk, because McCoy's like, wait, we're beaming into 100 miles under the surface? Into this lifeless planet? Weren't we just going to go into solid rock? Sargon's like, I got you guys. Don't you worry. Beams down 4 people instead of 6 people would have been the security team. How are we able to communicate with you guys? These guys, this freaking Sargon man, he's like ultra powerful. I'm like, this is crazy. So he goes down there, and I'm thinking, what type of beings could these guys be? They're living underneath the surface, and they're essentially gods. They could just do whatever they want. They're orbs. They're little tiny orbs. It's just all of their consciousness is in this orb. And it makes me wonder, how? How do you do this? What's interesting is that I like how Sargon's like, well, here's the history of how my people, we had a people just like you guys. And Kirk's like, oh yeah, haha, we passed with flying colors our atomic age, you know, like posturing that he's better than them with like the way that he speaks is what I'm getting out of this conversation. But Sargon's like, you know, we passed that too. We even passed this space exploration phase. What you guys don't know is you guys will come to a point, which you guys haven't hit yet, that your species will have to make a big old decision, but you haven't gone there yet. And I'm like, oh boy, what could this possibly mean? This guy, he claims that his society is about 6,000 centuries old. How many years is that? 6,000 times 100. Let's add 2 zeros to 6,000. 600,000 years? That's a long civilization. So there's that. They lived for a long time. I like Sargon talking about his society. Oh yeah, we went through these wars, and I'm and like the 2 other people in the back, we're the only ones who have survived. And here, let me do a demonstration. Kirk's like, what do you need me for if you're like essentially gods? Sargon possesses his body and is like, oh, I can finally breathe again. Sniff fresh air. And I'm like, oh boy, this is fun. I like it. This is concerning. I like how everybody in the USS Enterprise is very concerned. I'm also concerned while watching this. And McCoy's like, dude, you're like overheating their bodies. You need to stop. Go back, please. Just go back. Kirk's like, oh, I'm back. I'm back. You know, I think their intentions are good. Our consciousness collided as one for like a split second, and I understand him. We gotta help him. We gotta help him out. We gotta help him. What do they need their bodies for? Well, they want to build some androids. Why can't we build androids? Because they're much better at building androids than we are. So they need our bodies. And so they all go to USS Enterprise. They bring the consciousness orbs, right? Makes me wonder, did they grab the orbs and just like hold it onto the USS Enterprise? Or did the orbs just teleport themselves, since they have the ability to take atoms and bring it to where they're at much better than humans can in this point. So it makes me wonder, maybe they took their atoms and beamed it up. Well, that's what happened actually. So obviously this is the case. I'm thinking about whether like someone like held their orbs, or they like did the phaser thing and then just kind of dissipated and reappeared on the Enterprise, and then the humans went separately. That's what I'm asking. So of course, we got Spock, we got this chick, and we got Kirk, and they're receptacles. We got the three friends. We got this guy's wife, and then we got this guy's friend, right? What's fun is there seems to be a little bit of a cool going on. Hey guy, you're my friend, you're my pal, we've been best friends forever. Can you make a formula that makes it so we can stay in these bodies longer? Oh yeah, sure. And then makes a formula that doesn't work for Captain Kirk's body. The nurse comes in, what's up? Oh, Vulcan mind trick. You don't remember what I was telling you. I don't remember. And I'm like, oh geez, this is dangerous. This is a dangerous situation. So now we have this chick, and then we got Spock's guy receptacle, and he's just like, I'm going to kill that friend. I'm going to murder him. It gets to the point that Sargon can't really occupy Kirk's body anymore, and it looks like Kirk is dead. Oh no! Wow, I can't believe it. Wow, he's dead. And I'm like, no, Kirk's dead. How are we going to command the USS Enterprise? It's going to have to be Spock. Oh wait, Spock's body's being commanded by somebody. Uh-oh. And then like, Kirk appears. Oh, I'm healthy. What? How is this happening? I'm like, wait, what? And then it makes me think, oh wait, Sargon's like really powerful. Sargon explains, I had more power than all these fellows knew. And this is why you should get in the habit of hiding your power levels. No matter how low your power levels are, make sure you appear lower. Because if you need to show all your power levels, like Sargon's best friend did, and then betrayed Sargon, Sargon hid his power levels. So Sargon was able to trick his friend into thinking he's dead so he can kill his friend. And I thought it was pretty awesome. Sargon holds his friend into Spock's body. They give Spock like the deadliest poison, right? And his guy's like, oh no, I have to evacuate. I gotta go. And then when Sargon's friend leaves Spock's body and just is in the consciousness, Sargon squashes him like a bug. And Spock's not dead because Sargon made it appear that it was a full injection of the deadliest poison, right? But it was only just enough to give Spock some unconsciousness. And I was like, oh, this is really clever. And here's something really metal, right? We got a little discussion going on. Oh, you know, you just want to build bodies, live in the androids, we can't feel each other. We got 1,000 years for this one, and then we have to build another one in 1,000 years, and then another 1,000 years, and another 1,000 years. What if we just like took these people's bodies, right? This is what the proposal for Sargon's best friend was to Sargon's wife, right? And then Sargon's wife was trying to tell Sargon, why don't we just keep these guys' bodies forever? Because they're not our bodies, you know? You'd rather live in a body that you can breathe and feel in for 80 years and then just cycle through a bunch of bodies that you're just going to possess for millions and millions and millions of years just so you can feel and breathe again with that guy's consciousness stuck in their body? Or would you just rather have an android that you don't have to deal with for 1,000 years. Oh, you can't breathe, oh, you can't feel, whatever, but you're not possessing a person's body. It's not inhumane, right? I'm thinking that's the more humane thing, go with the android body. But what Sargon chooses, ultimately after his friend's dead, we're just gonna die now. Goodbye. He just destroys both of their consciousnesses. By the way, I think Kirk kisses that chick, I think 3 times? I counted 3 times. The final one being like, oh, you know, we're gonna die, but before that, can you let us use your bodies so we can have one final kiss? Mwah. All right, goodbye now. And then that's the end of the episode. They're like, wow, this is a crazy experience. I think I just watched these people who consider themselves gods because they were able to develop brain power so great that they were able to control matter around them just using their brains. These guys just realized why it is important to die, because life just gets boring and then you have to find more receptacles for your brain to go through. Also, what's interesting in this episode is that these Sargons, like, you know, our people spread seeds around the planets, you know? Earth's like, yeah, but we're proven that we have evolution. But Spock's like, you know, that would make sense. Parts of Vulcan history is that the Sargons guys' people went around spreading their seed everywhere. And that explains the beginnings of Vulcan history. You know, I like it. This episode is full of a lot of little details of the world and the galaxy and the space, whatever, universe, whatever. And then also this guy who's been so old that he's like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. So much so that he's like the last of his people finally realizes, oh, well, I guess we should just die now. We've been around for too long. Well, time to die. And I liked that. It was pretty metal. This is a pretty metal episode. It's got me thinking about a lot of things. I like this episode a lot. What do you think of this episode? I like it. It's a good one. It's actually one of my more liked episodes, as in the episode that I like more in Star Trek because of its complexity. I gotta give this episode, it's a solid 8. 8.3 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one. The platform really likes that. If you want a fast track movie, you can do that for $20 Dinos on patreon.com/ASEPresents. And if you like to help support the daily grind and instead of all them daily movie reviews, go to this link tree, find the way you can help support the daily grind of all them daily movies. So go here. And until next time on Mint Salad Sauce, see you later, my salad croutons and bacon bits. Boom. Beam me up.